Hello.
Oh. Hey, Chef.
Howdy do, Chefy.
This is Chris, ye old chef. This is Ed, ye old sommelier. We do virtual tastings. We're going to start right away because I can tell right now Chris is super thirsty.
Thank you.
And we do this every week in person. We do 4 wines right here at Old North State Winery, downtown Mount Airy, North Carolina, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. For those of you that can't make it or just like to drink on your couch instead of hanging out in the cellar room with us, we do this video so you don't miss a thing. Hopefully you have your pickup pack with delicious food that we'll be talking about here in a minute. And if you'd like to, if you watch this video and like, hey, I would like to be a part of that, why don't you give us a call up at the winery. Come visit us on a Thursday. We always have a great time, great social atmosphere, people from all walks of life, all ages. It's just a lot of fun. We have a good time, we drink some wine, eat some food, and we do it every single Thursday, weather permitting, right?
That's for sure.
Mhm.
I don't see anything in the 10-day though. I think we're safe.
Yeah, there's just some scary little snowflakes here and there.
We're terrified.
But yeah, the South completely comes unhinged
Unglued.
if there's a snowflake in the air. Not on the ground, in the air.
Well, even an inch or two on the ground, and it looks like an apocalyptic movie out on the streets.
Yeah, that's why I have a Jeep 4x4 so I can get
So
through
you
that
can
1
go.
inch of
So you
snow.
can go out and visit all the places that are closed.
Yeah, even if you want to go out, there's nothing.
I mean, it's like that's the other thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got this truck. You've got this, and there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. I mean, it's just, it's like, oh, I guess I'll just drive around for a little bit and come back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Pull people out of ditches.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. They
Yeah.
should stay home where it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
That'll teach them.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a couple of red wines today, and we're gonna have what I consider very, very classic. We're gonna start you off in the Ventoux of. Right, Bubba?
No, I got something. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. I'm good.
Okay. Don't you go down.
Not today. I just had a little something.
A little verklempt. He gets nervous in front of the camera. I mean, knowing that there's at least 20 people watching us.
28.
Yes. Well, our high budget, as high as our budget is, we're still not going to edit this. So
We're gonna save that money for wine.
enjoy the cough. And there'll probably be some more. I might even cuss this episode.
Why not? I came really close last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, I just remembered that it was just coming out. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I had to pull it back.
You got to pump the brakes sometimes.
Yeah, you got to pump the brakes sometimes.
Well, we're going to have a beautiful red from, well, Chef Chris and I love this area of Southern Rhone. Of course, the Southern Rhone, the Côte de Rhone, I think most everyone's had. And, we've got Cchateau and Gigondas, and there's so many delicious areas in the Southern Rhone. And Ventoux happens to be one of our favorites. Let me slide this little bottle up to you. Le Croix de Pin. And this is what they call Les Three Villages, but I don't exactly know why they do. But I can tell you that the wine is delicious, and this is perfectly aged, coming in at a 2017 vintage. Now remember, the Southern Rhone had a string of amazing vintages that started in the year of 2015, and it has been rolling 2015 through 2019. We're all considered superb. So it's not a surprise that this Ventoux is stunning. And what we love about this is because there's been so many great year after great year, as a whole, value is there. So we're going to dive in. These are, of course, were warm, dry years. This area, of course, the winds of the Southern Rhone are actually so aggressive that they can be a detriment. The Mistrals, as they call it. And this area is somewhat protected. These vineyards are protected from that. So you do want some airflow. It really does help cut down on mold that will grow, or fungi that will grow in the clusters of grapes. But if it's really dry anyway, you don't have to worry about that so much. It's usually that you want the breezes in areas that is humid to help move that through the grapes and dry them out. So
Cool them down at night. They
Yeah,
get hot
yeah.
during the day, and it really helps to bring that temperature down
Mhm.
overnight, so they don't continue to over ripen in the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of those things where you just need the right amount of breeze, determining on the climate, the altitude, etc. Just like Chef said, the cooling aspect for sure is another big part. Well, enough of that nonsense, right? You know, we're not here to get too geeked out. Although if Tyler, our winemaker, was here, he'd probably add on some even more. But I do want to say this. This is classic Southern rum, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre. It's like 55, 25, something 5.
10. I think it was 10, wasn't it?
It's something like that. But-
It's 40% of each.
It's predominantly Grenache. The second fiddle is, you know, Syrah, and then Mourvedre. Typically, not usually a big part of it. In this case, it is about 10%. But bottom line is that ratio will change season to season based on the grape's maturity, ripening, et cetera. But this is what matters, is how does it taste in the glass. And I saw you sipping on it.
It's huge. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Big, juicy. It's got some great
Ding.
tannin on it. I mean, it's huge. Much bigger than I thought it would be, in a good way.
Yeah,
In a very, very, very good way. I really love it.
yeah. So
This is a
it
big one.
and then of course it's, you know, it's listed at 14% alcohol. I bet it's more.
Yeah.
I bet it's more, but
You betcha.
but I wouldn't say it's hot. It's very integrated. It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
that just,
yeah, not
you
hot.
just know that there's alcohol in there. You can feel
You
it.
can feel it. It
You
doesn't
can
burn.
feel it.
It's just
You feel
you
it
just
present.
you just know.
Yeah, it's like a warm blanket,
It's
like a
a
snuggie.
warm embrace of moonshine.
Well, Chef, we can't have you drinking moonshine.
No, no,
I don't
no,
want. I
no.
don't want us to fight on camera.
No, we're not. We're not going to be doing that.
But this is really, really beautiful. It is big, but it's integrated. Everything is in harmony here. It's, you know, and that's the beauty of what now, 5 years? No,
Yeah.
6 years.
6.
Yeah. So where we've got a lot of time in the bottle for maturity. I believe that they age their wine about a year after fermentation before they even bottle it. So we had some vat aging time in steel. And that's another thing, Chef. I mean, like this without oak, it's hard to imagine what it would be like with
It
oak.
would be a stallion
Right.
by oak. I mean, it would.
Yeah.
I think that's why they put it in vat. They're like, this will bowl them
Yeah.
over. It's like
Yeah.
it'll get out of control.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to put a wine this big on oak. I don't think anyway.
Well, I mean,
you might not be able to drink it for 50 years.
That's a smart winemaker right
Yeah.
there, who was, you know, tasting this and going, you know what? I think we're just gonna go on over to the steel here.
Man, I love it. There's so much of the fruit is intense. It's
It is.
there is some bright red, but then you got all that roasted notes, like you can taste the heat of that year. There's minerality in here because, well, you know, it's old world, so you're gonna get that. There's it's like a spicy flower, maybe something, yeah, like the florality of
A
a
pepper
spice.
flower.
Yeah, something like that.
Or an okra flower.
Yeah, yeah. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. This is a great wine. It's under $20. I mean, I don't know how you can go. And honestly, we don't serve.
Under 20.
Yeah, we don't serve a lot of wines at the chef's table that are under $20. It's pretty rare.
I can't think of
That is one that we serve at the chef's table. So it goes incredibly well with chef's cuisine because, you know, chef has obviously a huge, culturally, his plates go all over the world. But at the heart of things, at least from my perspective, there's French elements
That's
there.
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah, and that's just for me that sees him cook every day for 50 years or whatever it is. But this, you know, these French wines tend to complement his cuisine. So that is my point, is that this goes way above and beyond the price point in terms of quality.
Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, and we are very
That's
appreciative.
That's a ridiculous value.
Mhm.
The
We know.
We're gonna find out who watches this video and charge everybody who didn't more.
Yeah. The you know what, Chef? It's the dark fruit's really coming out now. Almost. I mean, I don't. It's getting to licorice, not quite, but it's elements.
It can
of
get there. It can get to licorice. I think that the black raspberry, you know how when they're kind of half black, half red.
Yeah.
And they're honestly, to me, this tastes a little underripe blackberry.
Yeah.
Maybe splashed with some liqueur or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Curacao.
Yeah.
Not curacao. No. It's, what's the like the currants?
It's not Kier. It's the I know exactly what you're talking
It
about.
has like a very currenty, dark currenty.
It does.
And for cassis.
Cassis, that's it.
Yeah. So there is, and I think part of it is that that this is really big. So you would associate it with a liqueur because you look at these tiers, Chef. Holy cow!
Yeah,
They're sluggish.
They're sluggish. They're not going anywhere.
Mhm.
You know, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So this is a wine that you can afford to drink daily. It's also a wine that you can pair with some of your finer meals. You know, of course, we're dead in the winter right now, middle of January. Chef's doing a lot heartier foods. We're seeing a lot of proteins and mushrooms, and this wine complements it. As much as we're talking about the strength or the fullness or the bigness of this wine, when you have this with food, you will see that it does not wash away food. It stands with food. And actually looking at it, Chef, it doesn't look that ominous in the glass.
No,
it's not
the
like
color,
a black hole or anything.
No, the color is actually quite light. And it's funny that when you first opened it and poured it, I was like, oh. I mean, it was the aromas. I mean, they just immediately filled the room, and I was just like, man, this is gonna be a beast. And this is our first wine. I was like, what's this Zin gonna do?
Yeah.
But it's all working.
Mm-hmm.
It's all working in this, and so I think it's gonna be a real boon for everyone, but especially most people. Not just I think people cook to the heavier side in the winter months. Not just because of the certain items that are more readily available, but it's also a comfort when it's cold. Everybody wants
put on an extra layer.
that little blanket.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
meat blanket.
As you can see, normally I'm just wearing my shirt, my ONS shirt, but I've got the coat on today. And Chef's
I
buttoned up too.
plugged a little heater in behind you. I was hoping that helped you.
Oh yeah, it's great. But it's just one of those days where it's not necessarily so much colder on the thermometer. I can't speak today.
Thermostat's cold too.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just like I guess because it's a damper cold or something. It just seems a little.
I never warmed up today.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up. I went to bed early, so I woke up early. I was outside at dark, and so I was outside with the dogs as the sun was coming up. It was really cold, and I haven't warmed up since.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cranked the truck up hot, got the kitchen hot today. I turned all the equipment on and didn't turn on the hood to let it get really warm, but nothing's helping.
Yeah.
So
It's one of those
sometimes
days.
it gets in your bones.
Hopefully we'll warm up by the time we have the chef's table tonight.
I think we will.
Yeah.
The wine will help.
Yeah. So
I think it's probably the problem. That
That's
every
probably-
wine is
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we're usually on our very best behavior on chef table days.
always.
So we're gonna be pumping the brakes a little bit here. Normally you'll see us guzzle a bottle of wine on your screen, but not today.
Not today. We've got to
Stay sharp.
We got to keep it on
We
the
got
straight.
4
and narrow.
hours of entertaining to do. And we're really excited about it. We haven't done a chef's table in like 2 weeks.
New Year's, 11 days, yeah.
Yeah, that's long for us.
A long time.
But, you know, also,
It is a long
we
time.
needed a break.
Winter, God. Yes.
And also, we got a prefix 5-course pairing Friday night for 30 people. Really excited about that. If y'all haven't
And
done
then
it, y'all
chef
haven't-
tables again this Sunday.
if
So
y'all haven't
we're
done
back
the
to the grind.
prefix, if y'all haven't done the prefix, you should be doing it. It's fantastic.
It's an incredible value. It's a great experience.
And I'm bringing in some nice magnums for that. It's gonna be fun. All right, so Chef, what are you thinking about food-wise with this? I guess you could throw just about anything hearty at it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna toy with two things. Of course, they'll both be in a box. You can mix and match.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I guess you should do a little bit of both. But we're gonna do a tart with this of black truffle and caramelized onion.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be nice with this.
Yeah.
good
big
French
time.
dish,
Oh,
with
yeah.
French wine,
Very Frenchy.
and yeah, and then we'll have a good cheese in there to bind it. I've got some of that beautiful Alpine Gruyere.
Mm.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah, I've been getting on some Alpine cheeses lately. I think
I've
is
been
that
mixing-
a winter thing?
It is a winter thing, and I've been mixing it in for our baked mac and cheese, so I'll put
Yeah.
a little bit of that in the tart, so it'd be great. It'd be a nice little chopped herb.
Very nice, very nice. So
And of course, we'll see how, both foods play off of each one. I think they'll both go well with each other, no doubt about it.
Well, that was delicious. It was actually better than I remember. Maybe I'm just thirstier. If that's possible.
Yeah, you're having a dry Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
It's gotta be tough.
And I didn't drink myself into oblivion last night either. I just had like 3 or 4 beers at lunchtime. Didn't drink the rest of the day, which is strange.
Yeah, I mean,
for
I've been
me.
going through that too, where I drink a little bit in the afternoons, and I haven't been drinking at night. It's just laying on watching hockey, going to bed.
Wake up feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
I don't recommend doing that all the time.
No, it's
It's-
not. I wouldn't recommend it at all. It's just if it happens accidentally, just enjoy it.
All right, here we go. So, Chef, you were saying like, wow, how big is this? I don't necessarily know that it's any bigger, but it's a lot more oak influence, and I just didn't want this big toasty, smoky overpowering this. So I would say that your GSM is a bigger one, but this is a more oak influenced, really toasty char on this. And it does have a little more alcohol at 14.5 on paper, but this is really delicious. This is from Tortoise Creek. We're in Lodi, California. And of course, Lodi, we've dabbled in Lodi, but I haven't done it in a while. This came across my desk, if you will. And when I say my desk, I mean chef's prep area, because that's where I usually set up shop.
It works because you can get all that good sunshine up there and the lights. It's a great area to set
Yeah,
up
I
shop.
love it up there. The chef's table, if y'all are coming to the chef's table, the chef has this big, beautiful prep table in the center, like a center island almost. And
Actually, it's just a catch-all for everything Ed doesn't want to put away.
he came out there he came out there with his cart trying to put it. You see, the prep's coming for tonight. It's been coming, but now
It looked like Ed won
it's
the
like-
national championship. You know how they drop graffiti from the top and it just rains graffiti down everywhere? So I thought Ed had won an award, but it turns out that was just his paperwork.
This is how I do my ordering. I have to have all the orders that everybody's had, every menu that's coming up, every menu that we have had.
Especially since 2016.
Those are important. They give me comfort, Chef.
I get him desks, I get him filing cabinets, he actually has 3 offices,
That's true.
and it's all scattered on my prep area.
Anyway, enough about you, Chef. Let's talk about
Enough about what I think about me. What do you think about me?
Oh gosh. So Tortoise Creek, they make delicious reds. We've had their cab before. We really enjoyed that. And this is their Zinfandel, which a lot of people associate Zinfandel from this area of Lodi. Of course, we're talking about like right smack dab in Central Valley, bit further inland than maybe like a Sonoma or Napa. But not too far in to where they kind of lose that like the further you go into California, the less you lose the magic of that West Coast. So they're I would say right out the cusp, and it's an emerging area. It's a high value in terms of consumer wise.
Absolutely.
And this is another example. You got a twist off, which doesn't really necessarily mean anything these days. My gosh, we've had some $190 twist offs.
Well, there's great reasoning for all of it.
Yeah.
And so you never know what each individual house's decision is for caps or corks or synthetics or what have you, but they're all good choices.
Mm.
They're just different.
So Zinfandel. Well, Lodi. Let's talk about Lodi. Does this not taste like Lodi?
Tastes like Lodi, sun-drenched Lodi.
Yeah.
And however, it is more restrained than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I mean, this
yeah.
is a very elegant, and you're on a tear here. Like the last 3 Zins that you've brought out for the tasting, they've been very elegant. They've had no rough edges. They're all polished. I mean, yeah.
And to point out what Chef's saying, Zin can go all over the freaking place, particularly with California. They can be almost.
And Lodi, there's a lot of bad Zin in Lodi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
Not a lot, but
but
there's a lot of $7 Zins coming out of Lodi,
and they
you know
taste
what I
like
mean?
$3.
Yeah. That's
So
what
there are some inexpensive Lodi wines that drink well above, but there's also some that don't. So I think people look to Lodi because of its reputation of having high value at low prices. And remember, folks, there's value at every price point. So I'm saying a $50 bottle of wine can be a great value if it's drinking like a $200, and we come across those just as much as we come across an $8 wine that drinks like a $30 wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So value is on a scale, okay, a moving scale. So this is a great value in my opinion. I think both of these wines are.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
This is not going to be your favorite if you're into old world wines, because this does not drink at all like old world wine. But also, this is exactly what you want if you're into California style. Lodi has this dusty tannin. It's like Rutherford, but it's still more Lodi. It's just not as, I would say, not quite as sophisticated. But I love it. I adore it. I look for it in every Lodi wine. I want it. I need it. It might be a novelty, but it really strikes a chord with me.
Well, and it's also going to be down the road a great calling card. It's very rare that you can get something. When your area has that hook. That one word, that one thing that really defines it. I think that's going to serve them well long term.
There's great acidity here. When it finishes, I'm on the outside. The chipmunks are coming in full, tsunami of flavors, and that's going to make that next bite of food great. When I think about this, I think about all the great foods this will go with on the red meat side. There's no doubt about it. That's a no-brainer. This would certainly be, when I think about steakhouse reds, I think this would fall into that.
Big time.
Because it would go with all your red meats and stuff.
Well, and the end is very polished,
Yeah.
which you want with a finer meat.
Yeah, it's very toasty, but I know there's a million other things you can do with it. But that just that's like the low line fruit.
Well, I don't think it's low line. I just think it's accurate. Just because, you can't disqualify a big steak just because you've got red wine. So it doesn't mean it's not the accurate, correct, perfect accompaniment.
Yeah. God, those steaks we had last weekend, Chef. Oh my gosh.
Stunning.
Man.
All over the place. Stunning.
We're
getting a really stunning steak with this.
Your menus are ridiculous. Our lunch and dinner menus are just like at the slowest time of the year, the most over the top menus.
You get rewarded.
This guy does not rest. Does not rest. Does not cut corners. It'd be really easy to kind of pump the brakes this time of year.
It would.
And you are actually elevated your game.
Well, I think that's it's important that's what you're supposed to do with your regrouping and your downtime, and you want to reward the people for coming out, and
we've been very pleasantly surprised. Last year on the first week of January we were closed.
We were,
and I think there was probably a lot of customers that just assumed we would be, but they still came out.
Yeah, it was solid 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
I was well pleased.
Yeah.
It was great. Another one on the way.
Yeah. So, Chef, what do you think about food pairing with this beautiful?
I just think we're gonna just do a prime graded, dry aged bone-in strip. And well, no, it's not all, because we're gonna throw that Saskatchewan Cove Walden cheese in here. The walnut
shiitake.
shiitake.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't heard you say that in a long
Well, it's
time.
because I haven't been able to find it until I've been trying to get it.
That's
Like,
funny, like you just said the word walnuts.
Yeah, you're right, yeah, you
Cchateau. I mean, it was like, I immediately.
the folks I used to get it from, you know, just hadn't been able to do it and found it from another guy and they finally got it. They just came in.
Wow, dude, that's
It's
very
exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah, so we've got deliciousness in your to-go box for those of you that are picking up these 2 bottles that taste long. And if you're not doing that, you should really consider it because it really is an enhancement to your evening.
It is.
And remember, you can watch this video anytime you want, you know, that without the wine. You know, we really do appreciate it. We appreciate a like and a share and all that good stuff.
Maybe a comment.
Make a comment. Make a
Tell us
comment.
what clowns we are. We'll take it.
Tell us how great our editing team is. We'll fire them all if you don't like
Every
it.
last one of them.
The boom guy, I've already
They're
got,
all out of
I've
here.
already got a problem.
They're all, hey, I like the way
And
they
the
look at
key
it.
grip, he came in 5 minutes late.
Again,
Yeah.
again.
And the engineer, don't even get me started.
They're all just asking.
She's
They're all
crazy.
asking for
She's
it.
crazy. Well, we've continually tried to bring you our personal relaxed notes on wines, and hopefully you appreciate our style. We're not too stuffy here. We're not stuffy in any of the things we do. We just like to talk about things that move us, that we think are worth sharing, and that's kind of what we do here at Old North State Winery. Yes, we make wine. We make a lot of it. We're one of the top producers in the state, but we also run a pretty fancy restaurant. We want the world to know about beer and wine and liquor and all the things, not just the wines we make. And we appreciate y'all out there supporting all the things.
So
we do.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it so much.
Yeah. And there's a lot of gift certificates floating around out there that y'all should be cashing in. I know
Redeem
that.
them.
Redeem them. Come up here.
Redemption time.
Spend your gift card on some beautiful wine and food that we have. Chef, is there anything else you want to bring up before we call it a night?
No.
We got to get to that chef's table.
I gotta pick up my daughter and then get this chef table put up on the stove, and then you and I, it's showtime, huh?
Yep, we look forward to seeing all you. Hey, just throwing it out there, you know, January was really, we're in the, what are we, 10th, 11th?
11th, yeah.
I haven't had a chance to wish all you January babies a happy birthday, so all you January babies,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, happy birth month, and you know, we always look forward to sipping wine with you when we can. And you know who you are. The list is long of January babies that come
It
here,
is,
man.
a
It's
lot of
crazy
them.
how many of our customers.
We had 4 at lunch today.
Yeah, we sure did, and they're all regulars, and we all
We almost
appreciate
ran
it.
out of candles.
Well, we'll see you next Thursday. Of course, we'll have 4 fresh wines every single week here in person, 2 for you on our video every Thursday. Thank you for your support. Catch you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your evening.